What is going on, Internet?
Internet thought it.
Internet, we're back. Internet, hello, hello.
We're actually alive.
All right.
We are here.
Nice.
Kind of feels AI-ish, but we are here.
And trying to remember how to do this, you know.
Definitely getting back into the swing of things. But no, it's great to be back. You know, it really is. So, you know, as customary, we say welcome everybody to another episode of Carbonate Bounty BS with me and the nerds. You know, it's been a little bit of time, so yeah, it's kind of great to re-break the ice. You know, recharge the batteries and get back to doing what we love, and ultimately getting some fresh Star Wars content, right? Which is why we're here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of
re-break the ice.
It's kind of crazy, you know, that we've after the run we've been on for the last, I would say, 2 years plus, that we had this kind of break, you know, in between, you know, stuff. But you know, I guess it was needed from the studios, you know, Star Wars fatigue. I don't know what we'll call it, but
I mean, they'll start bombarding us with stuff in 2026. You know,
we hope. You know, we got a movie and some series, so yeah, we definitely got some content to cover. But you know, before we even dive into this review, which is Star Wars Visions, which is some lovely content we got in the animation stuff, and before we even get to cleaning the house, just real quick, man, let's go around the room. What you guys been up? You know, I know we got families and stuff. What's been going on?
Not much. We was just talking about Halloween off mic and everything. You know, the trick or treating. You know, getting all the good candy and stuff, and you know
best
how that
holiday of the year. Best.
It is. It's a good holiday. I get excited when it comes around and the kids they go in their costumes. Like I was telling them off mic, my neighborhood comes out. You know, I don't see anybody in the neighborhood, but for Halloween and Thanksgiving. Well, not Thanksgiving, Independence Day.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah, I think that's like
fireworks and candy.
Yeah. Candy draws everybody out. You know that, so it's always a fun time for sure.
We have
a crazy.
We have a 10-month-old, so we went as like a Sesame Street posse. So he was Elmo.
Sesame Street posse.
He was Elmo, and my 4-year-old was Abby Cadabby, and the wife and I were Bert and Ernie. So I could hold hands, and it didn't look weird. We had a great time. We did a bunch of trunk.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy what you just said.
That was hilarious.
I'm the taller one, so you know.
I mean, is that like is that canon? That you know, Bert and Ernie?
I think it is now. You know, those guys have lived together for like 50 years. You know, if you live with someone for 50 years, I think
in Pennsylvania they're married.
They're in New York. Is Sesame Street in New York? Like, I don't want to get that.
It's in Philadelphia, right?
Any city, but you know,
I thought it was in
Pennsylvania. They're married.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Great. That's great. Gift to the Magi thing in the Christmas episode with Bert and Ernie. That's a classic moment. Where Bert sells those paper clips. So you can buy a dish for a. You guys don't remember this? Am I the only one that remembers the Sesame Street?
No, I know exactly what. In fact, I think I have the episode on VHS.
Of course he does.
Thank you. At the end of that, does it tell you to watch Rogue One?
Well, it's the only thing. That's the only physical media I have that when I'm done watching it, does not recommend Rogue One.
It does not recommend Rogue One.
Which I can change that. I can put together like a leader, like a trailer, and put it on it so it does. But go through all that.
Now that you mentioned that, every time I do watch something on Disney Plus, it does recommend Rogue One. It's kind of, I don't know what it is, but it does.
Which makes Rogue One the most recommended film in history.
It probably is
of history.
Not Force Awakens, not Rise of Skywalker, not Last Jedi.
Rogue One.
Certainly the best. Like, not that we can, you know, not that this is what we're talking about today, but definitely, I mean, I think we all agree the best of the Disney batch, right? As far as the
for sure
Star Wars,
for sure.
It's got to be up there with like the best content that they've come out with
in the modern era. In the modern era,
yeah. In my opinion, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, it is solid. It's a solid story, and I'd watch it over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, after we finish Visions, it's going to suggest you go watch. Spoiler alert.
Oddly enough, at the end of episode 9 of this vignette we're about to dig into, it did recommend I watch Rogue One or Solo, which was kind of a departure.
Or Solo? Really?
Yeah.
Solo's getting some love? We might have to get back into that movie. I love Solo. Solo's an underrated gem.
Every time I watch it, I find more stuff that's good in it. So,
and in 5 years, when they put out the definitive Harrison Ford edition of that movie, which they'll be able to do easily, we'll be able to really evaluate it and see if it's any good, because we can't. My take on that movie is that you just can't do it, because it's like that recasting of that role is so distracting that you can't really evaluate the film. So I'm very excited for our oncoming computer overlords / writing partners on this show to make that happen. And I hope that they'll remember that we came to the robots first, the spirit.
So they could just go back, pull him out of American Graffiti and throw it into Solo. I mean, that's about right. That's about the age that we're talking about.
Pull him out of there, age it, make it look good. We'll never even remember that they recast that, and that'll be great. I think.
Alden Ehrenreich, he'll just be crying somewhere, you know.
Kira would be the same. We'd still have the what was she? The White Queen, Game of Thrones, right? What was she?
Oh yeah. The
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, she would be. Leave her in there.
Woody Harrelson, 100%. Do not take him out of that movie.
Do not touch him. Maybe put his brother in there.
That's good.
You know, and he could do a CBD like spot. You know, him and his brother, like, you know,
like the laid-back traffickers. Like, no one's even trying to stop us. We just, everything's fine with this. It's not a big deal.
We're just marketing shit to like housewives, and they're eating it up. You know, it's fine. Just a little spray.
Hey, Solo's severely underrated. Give me Solo 2.
I think you're probably right, and I think that my problem with Solo just comes down to my inability to move on from Harrison.
It's the casting. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Harrison's, he's up there. Everybody can't live forever. These characters, they gotta, they want to keep them going and everything. It's either they're going to be AI, or you just got to let go of the actor.
But remember, Harrison spent like 2 years frozen in carbonite. So he actually has 2 extra years left in him that,
and I'm sure that we could easily replace him.
But he's been in some plane crashes too, Ken. So you have to then.
He has.
He's doing the Howard Hughes thing since, being in like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and, the Marvel movie. Like, they're just doing all that stuff is just not enough. So it needs more thrill. Think about that. Good Lord.
Anyway, my guy, he just wants to work. That's it. He's working until he's working until the wheels fall off.
And he's in something right now. Something that's coming out, isn't he? It's not a science fiction. It's like another.
Are you talking about that Apple series? He's in that Shrinking like Apple series. They about to come out with another season of that.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking, and maybe that's where I saw it. Maybe that's where I saw it. He's doing something else, and it's. I mean, he's keeping busy. So yeah, I mean they definitely need to sign him up.
Well, Ally McBeal is not making close to Flockhart any more money. So like for sure, Harrison Ford knows he's the main breadwinner.
Yeah. Because she's done. She can't even.
She was like she just disappeared off the face of the earth. I think just because she married him. I think that's actually what happened.
She probably. I mean, imagine being like playing that character, being Ally McBeal. Imagine if you woke up and that's the character you were, and you had to do that for like 5 years. You'd be tired too. You'd be done.
Oh yeah.
I'm tired of playing this character, frankly. It's gonna be a different year one day. Hey guys,
aren't we all tired of ourselves?
Yeah, pretty much.
And the people around us are tired of us too. It's like,
yeah, they get like that. Nerdcyclopedia.com, people, your favorite website. So make sure that you're going to nerdcyclopedia.com and hitting us up. We are also on Facebook. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and also on TikTok at Nerdcyclopedia. And listen to us on podcasts too. We're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. We're there. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, thank you. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure that you hit that share button so that you let other people know about Carbonac Bound and BS. We're back. We're back, So we went outside and then we came back inside and everything. So, and then also most of all, make sure that you're leaving us some feedback at Nerdcyclopedia. Feedback@gmail.com. We're still offering them emails for free, guys. And you can send it to us for free.
I was just going to say everything you talked about was free.
Yeah,
there's no charge for any of it. It's great.
Hey, the government shutdown is not affecting us, guys. We're back.
We're all still getting what we need, which isn't much, but it's all free.
A free features with a value add in the biz. So we're adding value. That's how it is.
For sure.
Media.
We're giving our time to you, so better appreciate it.
For sure. But yeah, guys, as we come back, we're gonna break down episode 1 of season 3 of Star Wars Visions, which is when we talked about this scene, and I thought it was going to be a really good idea, but it's kind of cliched every time we do this, but like literally the animation, like the way these shows are, and even this first episode, like for me, it just brings back this is more like the old school, like if you watch Trigun, it's like some of the older dubbed US kind of anime.
Yeah.
This gave me that real Trigun kind of like rough sketch vibe, right? So I really liked it because it just gave me that old school anime vibe. But I mean, as we dive into this, man, what a show! Like it makes me wonder, like, why can't we hire some of these anime artists or some of the other people to write stories? Because this little short story was pretty cool, and I'd like to see it. I want to do more for this.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. The first thing I thought of when watching this first episode was that why can't we have an expanded story with people who actually are taking a chance? Okay, you have 23 minutes of this and everything, which is fine, and they pretty much just put it off to the side. We'll just put it in Visions, and it happens outside of continuity, outside of canon and everything. You could just do your own thing and stuff. Why not get some of these people in the main canon continuity and stuff and have them write some of these stories? Because with this first episode, it doesn't have any main obviously Star Wars characters, but the whole vibe and feel of it is right there, with the lightsabers, especially that fight towards the end there. All the action there was just phenomenal. It made you really realize what the inspiration was George Lucas had from the beginning with lightsaber and sword action and everything, with Star Wars, and where that influence came from, and how it's sort of circling back to where these people who George Lucas were inspired about like some of the Kurosawa movies and all that stuff. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but it's sort of like, circles back, and now they're putting that influence back on, like, the anime and everything. So that was one of the first thing that jumped out to me when I seen the first episode, and I'm like, okay, we're about to be in for a treat.
For sure.
Yeah, and what I forgot about this Vision series is that it is outside of the regular story, and the characters are new and they're fresh, but they still have the same vibe. So it's like these are little stories that are going on around the main story. So it's like what everyday people living in this universe might be doing,
right
at the time when the OGs are carrying on with their adventure. We've got these little things going on, in the background. The animation, like you guys said, was great. The music is still there. It has, everything that I always look for in a Star Wars story. And I don't need to know who the characters are. It doesn't matter. They still live and breathe in the world that we're sort of talking about. So, I think these people need to just stay where they are, like doing these little stories and just kind of make the little one hits. They're little, like you guys read comics, they would in the series of comics, there'd be like a one shot, just a little story that didn't have anything to do with the main arc, but it had the vibe still. So, but these are great little stories. And if you're not watching them, you got to watch them now.
Well, Star Wars is this vast scope. It can be anywhere. It can do anything. And, thinking about these things as canon, philosophies change pretty quickly. 100 years ago, if you weren't punching your kids in the face, like you weren't raising them right. You know what I mean? And now we don't think that's accurate. We've changed completely. It would be hard to even recognize. Yeah, it would be hard to recognize parents now. Like they would probably think we're soft. Like, what do you mean you've never broken a fist on you've never broken your hand on your kid's head? Like, so it doesn't surprise me that there would be difference in philosophies. I like that they call it non-canon because it makes the nerds, and not us, the real nerds, shut up. Because don't worry about that. Because who cares? Who cares? Right. So the galaxy's very, very big. And I think that's one of the points I make very frequently on this show, that it's a very metropolitan place and it's very big. I think, T. Mitch and DP are both very, very right in that this is very much an Akira Kurosawa reverse pastiche. Like it's taking back what was borrowed from those films and spinning it back out and putting the rest of what came with it, like, out the other end. And that's really, really neat. The whole dueling, like the dueling setup is a lot like Trigun, where you had Vash.
That was 100%. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Vash.
Everyone was coming from Vash. So the Trigun is this anime where there's basically a person with he's like a superhuman person, and everyone's trying to kill him on this desert planet. That just to very much oversimplify Trigun, right? But this lone person who's looking for solitude, but seeks to, set right the wrongs and injustices. Very, very interesting. Also, very interesting that you have this character, the Crusader. Is that what he's called? A Crusader, who is like more machine than man.
AI Jedi.
AI Jedi.
It's very cool, right? It's very topical. At what point is the computer leading the person? And at what point is is your will being subverted, or at what point does it cease to exist? These are all questions I have this weird feeling we're going to have to answer in the next several decades, if not sooner. Right. So I think there's a lot of really great commentary. The visuals on this were really fantastic. I like the way it seems like pencil drawn. Like you said, it's like sketch. Very limited colors make the colors that you add pop. Just really, really cool little story. And a continuation. This is a sequel from series 1, right?
Yeah.
There was another evil Jedi that needed to get
It was a similar story with the Ronin. Yeah, it was a very Ronin story.
Could watch a lot of those, but they made a lot of those. The Japanese media has created a lot of those over the years in a lot of different ways. I really enjoyed this. It's a great way to kind of get back into Visions and like get prepared for it, because there are probably going to be some episodes that aren't as action oriented or maybe as mature in their subject matter, is the way we'd say it. So it's nice to get one that's a crowd pleaser done first. And man, I just got to get me one of those crystals. I need.
Yeah, man. I mean, how cool was that? That he collects. It's one of those, like, the story was cool because it was like the whole like anti-hero kind of thing. He was collecting kyber, red kyber crystals, which is crazy. Like, and it's the cool thing because you're right, Hitch. Like, it kind of like shuts like the gatekeepers up, as we will, of Star Wars. It kind of shuts them up because like this guy's not a dark Jedi or gray Jedi. He's just somebody who has a red lightsaber that was eventually he was at some point a Sith and he defected. So he doesn't have to be like a designation.
He's on his own,
which is basically a classic Ronin story. That's what a Ronin is. Right? So he defected and he's a Ronin hunting, and this gave me very if you've seen 47 Ronin, the note, not really the dialogue part of that. Rurouni Kenshin also is very, very close. If you've seen even the live adaptation of that, a Ronin kind of like that can't die until he like avenges all this stuff, and obviously he has vendetta against an ex-Jedi and obviously any kind of Sith he comes across. So collecting these kyber crystals, but I really thought that bag of kyber crystals is really cool, and then what they end up doing with them towards the end. I mean, I think that was the first like made up weapon that like we didn't like nobody bitched about, right? I thought it was cool, what they did with that.
Yeah, and it was cool to see he at first he was hunting her, and then they had to
team up.
And then they became like almost like a apprentice at the end.
Right.
Like they were fighting, but they were training, and they were gonna move on together because they realized how strong they were together because they conquered this machine
bigger
Jedi,
threat.
right? Who thought he was a Jedi. Super almost reminded me of Grievous, kind of like machine Jedi, uses the Force, but clunky, not real clean, not real good at it. Which was which I thought was cool. And I love the fact that they still had they had a droid in there, and bring on.
You love some droids. Ken loves his droids.
I love droids and I love Ewoks. And this episode had what I liked about it, the content of it, and what they do with these visions is they have these stories and these characters that we know nothing about, but they pander enough through the episode to connect it to what I already know as Star Wars. So seeing the Ewoks, hearing their battle cry, seeing them still come out on top in a battle against technology, which we know we did. So that set this for me, like after Jedi, the Empire has fallen, and we've got sort of the aftermath, and everyone's sort of disenfranchised, which is what Ronin are. Is they've been ripped away from their king, their emperor, whatever government they worked for, and now they're on their own, which is how the galaxy was after the Empire fell. Is there really wasn't anything left, so everyone sort of had to kind of do their own thing, and that's what this vibe is to me. There are all these bandits and smugglers and these crusaders who really have no ambition on their own, but they're following this idiot machine. And then you've got these two Ronin Sith. They're not really Sith anymore. They're just on their own. It's just and the Ewoks are helping them. I mean, how cool is that? Like Ewoks helping the Sith.
Them actually coming back was just like a surprise in itself and everything. Okay, you bringing the Ewoks back and making them like a little cool. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we know Ken loves them and everything, but you know, everybody's not a big Ewok fan. Hence, they haven't been seen for like numbers of years and everything.
But they also they paired that with a good gambling establishment in
Uh-huh.
Star Wars, which they owed us at least one correct one that was set up right, used the detritus of the Empire, I think to your point, Ken, right? The busted out walkers just sort of balanced up together. That whole thing was shady. So shady that it's going to be my super shade of the week.
Super shade.
Super shade of
Shade
the
of
week.
the week. All right, he got the.
That's shady.
Shady
gambling establishment.
Super shaded of the week. You gotta make a banner of that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Super shade of the week.
Make a banner of that one. I like what Ken said. These stories, this particular story, and what you said, Hitch, about the nurse being, shutting up and everything. They can't really say anything because it's happening outside like the whole continuity. But you could sort of tell the creators, sort of look at like, okay, well, it's happening outside of continuity or canon or whatever, but it really is in like the world. So like Ken said, all you're doing is just really seeing like the what's going on in other aspects of the like the universe and all that stuff. Everything else is still going on in main society and all that stuff, but there's still like it's a whole universe of different things happening out there. So why can't we some of these stories and stuff?
But the crazy thing is, what you're saying, DP, that's all we fucking ask for anything. Like, bro, we understand with the Mandalorian, and I don't want to like go off on a tangent, but like, how do these people and their Japanese creators that do anime, how do they understand the Bible or the structure of the story? We'll let you go and we let you veer, but they at least have the decency and the respect to at least stay within the guidelines. That's all we ever ask for any of the stuff we watch.
Just stay within. But one point, it's like Hitch said. I wonder what would happen if Disney said, "Okay, this is all in continuity. This is all in canon." So, how would the nerds really feel? Would it be like backlash? Would it be like, okay, well, you can't, do this or do that, or have a Jedi do this and all that stuff? When you have it like this, have it stated that there's no connection into what's going on in main canon, then like Hitch said, you get the nerds to shut up and everything.
Right, there's nothing to bitch about because they already
there's nothing to bitch about.
This isn't real. It doesn't follow any art.
That's why they wanted to do the High Republic thing or like the Origins of the Force, because nobody can bitch because there's no story. That's why the Disney wants to go this route and kind of like go backwards.
Turn of the century nickel booths where you'd spin the thing and you'd see the picture move. If you were standing in front of two machines, you had one like nickel, and you could put it into another episode of this, the Duel, right? See the next one of those, or you could see another episode of The Acolyte beyond what we've seen so far. Would you put your nickel in The Acolyte, or would you put it?
I want my nickel back, I think.
Yeah. It's like the
you can just
it's like the card at Aldi. Sometimes you don't get your quarter back,
You gotta have listen, if you don't have a stash,
did we get a quarterback? I think we did.
Yeah.
I put my card back. Maybe I'm not saying that's the thing. Like Aldi makes you like you go there and you're not superior because like the reason is not because I'm a better person. I just want my quarterback. I put the thing back. It has nothing to do with more morality. Now
I'll stand there for hours until I get my quarterback, and I want the quarter that I put in there.
Exactly.
You got to self-checkout for that. Again, if you've got your own special lucky Audi quarter, you got to know it's a self-checkout time, and that means there are certain Audis you can't go to. They don't do self-checkout on all of them. Looking at you,
Well, a lot of them do, but you're right. There's one around here that does not do self-checkout, or they have it, but it's always closed.
It's always closed.
Anyway, nobody's putting their nickel in the Acolyte. They would want to see this.
No.
It's because it's not derivative. It's because it's interesting. And that's why being non-canon is so important, because it lets you relax. You don't have to think, oh, goodness gracious, what if this impacts something about Darth Vader's backstory and I have to catch it, or else I won't be able to commune with Mr. Vader the way I need to as a fan. None of this stuff is, obviously it's a fictional universe. So the idea of canon in and of itself is kind of like dumb, because there is no truth here. It's made up.
And there was a little bit of that vibe in this episode. I mean, I had a real Obi-Wan Anakin kind of vibe going on between the machine and the Ronin. There seemed to be a power struggle between, they were kind of brothers. They were in this battle. They were fighting. They might have been on the same side at one point. Actually, I get the feeling that one of them is considered the betrayer by the other one, like confidence, betrayed their confidence, betrayed a secret that they had given them, and they sold that secret to somebody else for money or information, and they fought, and Ronin dismembered Machine Man, like as Anakin got dismembered by Obi-Wan.
Right.
So
I'm going to tell you this story about how you messed me up, and the Ronin's like, "Shut up." He's like, "Shut up."
Right. And he zapped him again, and turned him into the full machine. I think he took his legs off, and that probably caused all kind of like internal damage, and he had to be rebuilt. What great character do we know of that was like that we love that was that? Wasn't R2-D2? Wasn't Chewbacca?
C-3PO?
Yes, it was C-3PO. Yes.
Yeah.
C-3PO was a Dark Lord of the Sith, and he got hit so hard by a lightsaber he turned gold and kind of British.
I mean, he's also Vader's son, technically, right?
Actually, not very, very real. Actually, also Vader's son. So Darth Vader had two sons and a daughter. And R2, but we don't know what R2 is. R2 could be a boy or a girl. Who knows?
I bet R2's like 4,000 years old or something. Because they probably, you figure the astromech droid was probably pretty standard for a very, very, very long time. Like they just
he was connected more to Obi-Wan than he was Anakin. Relationship wise.
Potentially. But
New York canon.
Right.
And his head
canon. Everyone's got their own, and it's okay. I think we just need to let people, like in my head canon, Batman doesn't murder people, but obviously there've been murders taking place in my lifetime. So I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely an interesting conversation for another day. But no, guys, we really appreciate you guys joining in with us on kind of return with these Star Wars short stories. So, hey, at least you guys have us for 9 weeks. We'll tell you that for sure, right? So you got 9 weeks of content with us, and then leading into spring, and who knows, as this kind of popped up, I know there's a lot of other stuff on the slate for 2026, as it looks like that's right around the corner for us. So, guys, we appreciate you guys joining in. Please smash a like and follow us, as we will be uploading some stuff on this channel, as well as our Nerd Flick show as well, with some movie reviews and show reviews. So keep your eyes peeled, and until next week, guys, this is the way.
This is the way.